3 VF-96 crews were assigned to Barrier Combat Air Patrol Duty, or BARCAP, on April 9. This duty required them to fly a racetrack pattern over the water roughly 25 miles off the coast of Haiphong. The mission's target, as stated by Peter E. Davies in his book Gray Ghosts, U.S. Navy and Marine Corps F-4 Phantoms, was to thwart hostile aircraft's attempts to attack components of the 7th Fleet. Pairs of aircraft flew the circuit's legs in roughly 3 minutes while cruising at a speed of around 300 knots and 20,000 feet. However, they frequently slowed down and gently steered towards the shoreline on the inshore side of the circuit to entice one or more MiGs to surface. Commander Fraser was in charge of the BARCAP on April 9, and Lieutenant Don Watkins was his wingman. When their Phantom II experienced an engine failure on takeoff, Lieutenant Commander Greer and his Rio Lieutenants Junior Grade Bruning were forced to eject and fly the 3rd F-4B. Murphy and Fegan made their official debut in Showtime 602 as replacement section leaders under the guidance of Lieutenant Watkins and Lieutenants Junior Grade Muller. Watkins attempted to overtake Murphy while they were passing Chinese MiG-17s as they were flying north from Hainan Island, but Murphy heard him send 3 in contrails. A 4th MiG-17 attacked Watkins' F-4 from behind, according to Davies, and Murphy reported that he was being fired upon. After being called back from their BARCAP, Fraser and Don Watkins engaged the MiGs. When 2 AIM-7s were launched, the engine of one failed to ignite while the other went ballistic. Additionally, 2 AIM-9s were fired, although only one connected, and the other was dodged. Murphy and Fegan went missing shortly after, and the 3 Phantom crews discovered this while they were making their way to the tanker. Out of missiles had been their most recent transmission. Going back to base, Watkins and Muller, however, had witnessed a MiG-17 going down in a fiery crash after ejecting the other robbers. A second blip appeared behind Showtime 602 as it headed away from Hainan on the radar of the fleet's Combat Information Center, and the F-4 subsequently vanished from view. Even if the Chinese had immediately after the combat claimed the loss of the F-4, it was not seen as politically wise to claim a MiG-17 in response, and Murphy's kill remained unconfirmed. Additionally, according to some Chinese reports, one of the Phantom's inaccurate missiles is what brought Murphy and Fegan down. The destruction of the Chinese MiG was handed to Murphy and Fegan after the air war, while they were piecing together the events. This engagement, however, quickly brought to light issues that would continue throughout the Vietnam War. According to Davies, these problems were: poor missile performance. None of the 4 missiles fired hit their intended target. With the MiGs moving at a moderate speed, Murphy and Fegan attempted to turn. They lost when their Phantom ran out of energy during the turn, making them maybe the first of many to learn that this maneuver could be lethal in an F-4. Communication difficulties. Fraser's and Murphy's, the 2 aircraft in the airfight, were using various radio frequencies and different radar controllers. Only after the MiGs had indicated that they intended to attack and had dropped their wing tanks were they permitted to engage in combat. The mutual effects of the 2 portions may have been compromised if each F-4 had only one primary radio. Overall, the only solace was the knowledge that Murphy and Fegan's deaths would have been VF-96's only casualty to enemy aircraft during wartime.